Hello and welcome right before the start of 2022 season. What stats and records can be broken during this year? And what is the probability of that? Let's dig into this. There are many of them. I will select only a few. I will give each one probability and maybe at the end of the season we can do summary and see how it went for me. Let's take a look at veterans. With Kimi Räikkönen out of the picture, we can say that we have now 3 old schoolers in the pack. Alonso, the real OG, Vettel and Hamilton. This opens us few new opportunities. First of all, number of races. As most know, current record is held now by retired Kimi Räikkönen. Now the opportunity opens for Alonso to surpass him in the number of races. If Alonso starts in more than 17 races, he will surpass Kimi at the top, who has 349 race starts. If nothing bad happens, let's have in mind that already bad things happened this year and it's not even the end of the first quarter. Alonso will race in 23 races, I believe in 23 that Russia will be replaced by Turkey, and will end up with 356 race starts. This one from my side gets 100% possibility. My prediction, it will happen. Connected to that one is also most race finishes. As you can learn from my other video, which you can check out by clicking the tab in the top right, currently Kimi is as well on top with 278 race finishes. But Alonso and Hamilton are not that far behind with 266 and 261 respectively. Considering that we will have 23 races in 2022 and that during testing we really saw good reliability of the cars, I would expect that Alonso will easily finish 13 races and Hamilton will finish 18. For Alonso surpassing Kimi, I would give again a solid 100% chance. But for Lewis, I will go down to 90%. 6 out of 23. If some crazy things happen and somehow Mercedes will end up sometimes in the midfield, I see Hamilton not finishing 6 races. Low possibility, but still. Yet, I predict those two to happen. Let's stay for now with the oldies, I mean Alonso. As he is the oldest on the grid, he has a chance to break some records. Now I will go to a little bit of a fairy tale stories, but hear me out. I will start with the least probable in my opinion. Gap between World Drivers' Championships. Biggest gap for now for a driver between 2 WDCs is 7 years and the record is held by Niki Lauda. The gap was between 1977 and 1984 seasons. Next are Jack Brabham, Graham Hill, and maybe surprise for some, but Lewis, since his first championship was in 2008, and famous Is That Glock, and next at the start of turbo hybrid era in 2014. For those who remember the early 2000s and start of the V8 era, Alonso won the championship in 2005 and 2006 with Renault. If he were to win in 2022, and I say if, he would lead that stat easily with 16 years. But let's be honest, the chances of that are really low. And just by giving it 1%, I am being very modest here. Same case for Vettel here. Last WDC in 2013, if he would win, the gap would be 9 years and also would be on top. Here I will not be that modest and I will say 0%. Sorry Seb. Both of those predictions, not gonna happen. Slightly related to that, and still for the seniors on the grid, is the next record, which is currently held by, no, not Kimi, Riccardo Patrese, which is the biggest time interval between 2 Grand Prix wins. Once again, Fernando has a chance to grab that one. Current record is 6 years, 6 months and 28 days. Alonso's last win was back in 2013 in Spain. Of course, depending on which GP he would win today, the new record would be somewhere between 8 years, 10 months and 312 days for Bahrain GP, and 9 years, 6 months and 192 days, if it was Abu Dhabi. Looking at that one, having in mind new regulations, we saw Ocon winning last year. For my taste, 10% chance is fair. If you would find some good odds at the bookie for this one, I would spare a few bucks, you never know. For that one I am feeling lucky. One crazy Grand Prix and all can be upside down. I will predict this one to happen. Also one interesting fact, not a record that Alonso could beat, but he would crack the top 10. I reckon that in modern F1 it is impossible to beat top 5. is the oldest race winners. Of course, depending on the race he would win, he could be somewhere between 40 years 7 months and 234 days and 41 years 3 months and 114 days. He could achieve rank 7 or 8. Same for oldest pole sitter, top 3. I would say impossible nowadays, but Alonso could get place 5 or 6 if he were to grab a pole position this year. As those are not record breaking, I am skipping my predictions here. Okay, enough for the part of the records that are related mostly to seniority in F1, let's move to some other ones. Consecutive seasons with a race win. On top, currently both Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton with 15 each. I know that testing was not showing that Mercedes is competitive, but knowing their love to sandbagging, and even if they are not top team at the beginning of the season, their ability to adapt and improve is quite good. So for me, 100% that Lewis will win a race this year and move to the top of the list. My prediction gonna happen. Okay, since we are already at Lewis part of the video, I have to mention the obvious one. Can Lewis break his own and Schumacher's record of 7 titles? That might be the trickiest one on the list for me. On one hand, we see after testing that Red Bull, Ferrari definitely made some good design choices, and I think Mercedes is up there as well. Russell, in my opinion, will not be a threat for Lewis in the championship battle, but also will not be a good number 2. I know he has a good record of helping his teammates, but one thing is to prioritize your teammate when you are barely fighting for points, other thing when you are fighting for wins. I think he will have some good moments, maybe wins, but most of the time he will be in a fight with Ferraris, Red Bulls, maybe even some other teams, rather than with Lewis. So he will not be able to help him with strategy and his rivals. I would say here a 50-50 and maybe even below 50%. My prediction, I don't think that Lewis will win his 8th championship. Not gonna happen. Now let's move to fastest laps. Currently Schumacher is leading with 77, Lewis relatively is far back with 59, so 19 to pass him. Sorry, for me 0%. My prediction, no chance of happening. Even if Mercedes would be super dominant, even then it is not likely. Now hat tricks. Different thing than in football or soccer if you are from the US. For those who are not aware, it is pole position, win and fastest lap in one race. At the moment, as many can expect, on top is Michael Schumacher with 22. Lewis is trailing back, but not that far with 19, so 4 this year to beat Michael. That would have only chance happening if Mercedes were to go back to 2014 level of domination. As a reminder, 16 out of 19 race wins and 11 1-2 finishes. Otherwise, I don't see it. Yet, I would say there is 20, maybe 30% for that. Personally, for me, not gonna happen. After hat tricks, now appropriate will be to talk about Grand Slams, this time tennis term. As a reminder, this is same as hat trick, but add to that leading the race from start to finish. That is a Grand Slam. Leader in this statistic is now, nope, not Schumacher, it is Jim Clark with 8. Lewis is back there with 6. And to be honest, 4 hat tricks, I don't think so. But 2 hat tricks with leading the race from start to finish, more likely. There might be some tracks that the new Mercedes will be dominating and there will be no approach to them. So for me here, 40% of chance. That is something that might happen when the planets align a little bit only. But personally, I would not bet on that. Okay, now let's move to what I call variety records. Few weeks back, we would be not even looking at this one since we had 23 races confirmed for 2022, and the record would be broken for sure. Yes, we are talking about the number of races in a year. For now, most was 22 from 2021, and now for 2022 we have 22 confirmed after cancellation of Russian Grand Prix. Of course, due to the fact that Putin started war invading Ukraine. Now the record is not that certain. Nothing is officially confirmed at the moment. There were talks about Turkey to replace, but nothing is confirmed. Maybe Liberty Media is a bit reluctant due to their proximity to the conflict and quite open involvement in supporting peace in the region. Nonetheless, there are also many other venues that could host a race. I think that there is high possibility of 23 races, maybe 80%. I predict it will happen and it will be announced soon after season starts, maybe after the Arabian-Australian opening, since the Russian Grand Prix was in the second part of the season and there is still some time. Since we are already talking about Russian Grand Prix, there is one stat that will not change for it since it will not be held, and that is Mercedes domination there. 8 out of 8 wins, that was impressive. And to be honest, if it was held, I would bet that it would be a 9th win for Mercedes. Most races without a pole position, currently led by Sergio Perez, and here we only have two options. Either he is still without a pole and adds next 22-23 races to the result and ends up with 236, 237, or he finally starts from P1 and drops from the list, leaving the lead to Romain Grosjean with 179. Also, if Sainz will not get a pole this year, he will get awfully close to Grosjean with 163, 164 and a chance to surpass him in 2023. As I love Sergio and his attitude, he is not a Mr. Saturday. He is best in the long run during the races with consistency and tire management. Possibility here for Perez pole is quite high, I reckon like 75% maybe. But somewhere I feel that simply it is not meant to be for him. He will win, but he will not yet get a pole. Not happening for me. Next record will be number of championships by constructors. Here we have Ferrari leading with 16th, and maybe it is the year to break that bad streak. As a reminder, Ferrari did not win constructors since 2008. Can they do that? Testing looked promising, but I don't think so. I would give them 30% chance. For me personally, not happening. And a last minute addition, after I already recorded the video, great news for one of your favorite statistics. Most races without a podium. Nico Hulkenberg is back to replace Vettel, whose test came back positive right before first race. I know we all have high hopes that Hulk will finally score a podium, but for me, sorry, no chance. No experience in 2022 car, and I also think that Aston Martin is lacking for me, so 0% chances and not gonna happen. Here is a chart with all my guesses. If you want to play as well, I will leave a template in the description. Put it in the comments with your predictions for those records. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the content, consider subscribing and check out other videos. Peace out, and away we go with 2022 season.